How's everyone doing? It's good to see everyone.
Hi, good to see you.
What's up, man? How you been?
Fantasia Film Festival. Congratulations. This is so exciting. Pedro, I do want to ask because, I'm a filmmaker myself, and this movie was so like crazy in terms of like I couldn't take my eyes off things, and like the found footage component of it just blew my mind throughout the whole kind of watching of this film. So I'm just curious, like, what was the most like challenging but most fun part about those found footage, kind of the documentary perspective of this film specifically for you?
That is um that is a great question, Peter. First of all, thank you for watching. Thank you for your kind words. I'm so excited to be here. Like being at Fantasia is like a dream come true, literally. I'm still pinching myself. And I think the found footage, the documentary um entryway and sort of framing of the film um proved there was a lot of challenges there. And so how do we tell the story with these very strict rules that we set for ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time, you know, tell the story in a visually exciting and in sort of full, and create this full world. And because I also really wanted to approach this as a documentary film and really kind of tell a story about our world, not some fantastic world. This is Las Cruces today. This is America today, with dealing with all the issues that we face, and the obstacles, and the families torn apart by addiction, the stigma that comes with that, our neighbors on the street whose humanity we're denying and we're not seeing, and the humanity that we're preying upon so much. And so kind of really taking that outsider's perspective. But that was what was so exciting about the challenge of these rules, of like being embedded in these perspectives, is to bring them to life and to work with geniuses like Miss Brittany O'Grady over here and Mr. EJ Bonilla, who actually helped us. Like, so we tried to create that space to like really to explore the world and be a sponge, and to then really how to bring that to life through these two perspectives, through
So good.
Emily and Danny.
Are you all
So
going down for the festival?
yeah,
I'm born. I'm originally from Montreal, Quebec, so that's pretty. So yeah, that's where I'm born. So it's so
You are
awesome.
allowed your country. Thank you.
yeah.
Well, first of all, Brittany, it's good to see you again. We spoke, I think, last year for The Consultant, right?
Oh, yeah, that
Yes.
was,
Was that just 1 year ago? It feels like forever ago.
it's probably like, yeah, a little bit over a year. It's so crazy how time
I
flies.
know. So my question for you in regards to this is, so much happens before you go to camera on In Our Blood, right? Like, you're talking to Pedro, you're talking to everyone, you're figuring everything out. It's a really kind of unique, eye-opening like style of filming, right? Because there's so much kind of happening, and that's what I love about it. So you can look at it from an acting storyteller perspective as two journeys, right? Before filming it and after filming it, or do you see it as one big journey with multiple steps? I'm curious about that from an acting storyteller
Yeah,
perspective.
that's such a great question. I see it as one journey with a couple of steps, because I think when I first got the script, it was actually before I got the consultant,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
I filmed the pilot. So that was back in 2021 that I think it was sent to me. And and I think at the time, because we filmed this in 2023, I
Mhm.
had major growth, I think, as a performer. I feel like every character I play kind of pushes me forward in my journey. And I'm sure EJ feels the same way. I feel like so many other actors feel this way. And I feel like when it was time to film, I feel like I was ready.
Yeah.
And talking to Pedro, the reason why I wanted to do it was because he said to me, I see the unseen. And at the time, I was like, I want to work with creatives that I spiritually feel connected to. And I felt that with Pedro immediately.
No,
And I
absolutely.
wasn't expecting the layers of this character to happen. So when it's actually started to come to fruition and we're getting ready to film, that's when like the conception, I feel like, of Emily within me came to life, and just being impacted by everyone's performances and being in Las Cruces and working a community of hope where we filmed a lot of our scenes. I was just totally moved and changed after this film.
And absolutely. And before I get to my question, EJ, I just want to give a shout out because she's been on the show. Alana Ubach, like so good in this. Like
Yes.
so good.
Bro,
Seriously. Yeah.
Right?
Ma-
Like so
Ma-
good. I know.
It's mind blowing.
Pete, you could hear that we could hear a pin drop on set. The first AD turned to me and said, like, I've never seen a set so quiet before in my life.
So good. And EJ, you're incredible in this too. From the like playing that cinematographer is so good. My question for you, man, is honestly like, it's a really exciting time for the like horror movies, thriller, that genre right now. You know, they've always been around, but there's been this big kind of boom and interest, and like especially around like October, like spooky season and everything. You worked on, you know, the recent Exorcist film as well. I'm just curious, what's it like for you working in that genre at a time where there really is a big appetite for that content these days? There's like a resurgence. What do you think about that?
well, it's an interesting question. I am new to this genre. It wasn't intentional. Honestly, until I was like, you were like, I'm in the genre. I was like, oh yeah, I was in that movie. Yeah, that's right. It's ironic. My niece is somewhere around here, and she's the one that forces me to watch horror films. I'm like, Muñeca, no, it's scary. I have a very active imagination. So in my normal life, I don't frequent the genre like section on Netflix. I don't. I mean the horror genre place on Netflix. It is a fascinating experience. I'm just sort of along for the ride.
Yeah.
Like I never even thought of this film in that genre until I'm reminded of it, because it feels like such a slice of life story.
Yes.
I was deeply attracted to how honest this film has been from script when I first read it before I even met Pedro, to like being on set with these amazing actors. Like Brittany made this easy. Do you know what I mean? Like I felt like I had a best friend to just goof around and play with on this set the entire time. I left New Mexico just so full of joy, because an experience like this, it truly is just rare for our actors and filmmakers that have such a connection with everyone. But as far as the like horror genre is concerned, like I went to one of the cons in LA for like, it was like during the strike, so you weren't allowed to publicize The Exorcist, but you were there. I was just watching it all. It's an entire fascinating like world.
It's crazy. It's, you know what's crazy too is, you know, and Pedro, I'm curious from your filmmaking perspective, directing, because there's so many different kind of worlds right now. Is the horror movie fans, they watch it all. They watch the thrillers, they watch the whodunits, they watch the sci-fi, they watch the shark movies. It was recently Shark Week, right? It's like, are you realizing that there's a lot of kind of opportunities to push the envelope in this genre, knowing that there's a lot of like sub-genres? Like, do you think about that at all, Pedro?
I do. I mean, I love that you say that, because it is. I love genre fans, and I am a genre fan as well, because it gives because I think we're all so excited to be a sponge and to learn and to really kind of explore things and be and question. And I think a good film, regardless of genre, of style, you know, ask some larger questions. And I think that's what I really love about genre films, because they are genre fans are discerning audiences who want to dig deeper, who want to like look at the world in different ways. And I think that's something that's really special about genre, because it allows us to look at our own world through a different lens and begin to ask deeper questions. And I that's why I'm such a fan.
Absolutely. I can't wait for people to check out Inner Blood at the Fantasia Film Festival in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Pedro, EJ, Brittany, so great chatting with you all. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Seriously.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.